Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video from Warframe Gaming. I am the majestic Snare and this is my disembodied voice. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming back to another Warframe video. If you watched the last one, yeah, that didn't go down too well. I'll be going into a bit of a follow-up on that. I think it's only fair from the comments that I got, and I do appreciate the feedback. For me, I've got quite a hard skin when it comes to online kind of commentary on stuff I've produced, so I'm more than happy to listen to that feedback as long as it's constructive and balanced. This is the internet, that's where everything is balanced and fair, isn't it? But I do listen to feedback, so I will be making a follow-up on that. But that's all I want to say about that today. Today the video is all about fucking Railjack, mate. You know, if you've been watching my Warframe videos where I've talked about the Empyrean update and Railjack and everything else, ever since it dropped 18 months ago, I've been chomping at the bit to get my hands on it and play it. Just give me it now, give me it now, give me it now. Okay, please, thank you. But I've certainly been in a position where, up until recently, I was thinking it's not ever going to happen. It's going to be one of the modes like we saw recently with the Stalker update, where you could play as a Stalker. Where's that? That would be an awesome mode to have. That would be fun. That would be really fun. But certainly when it comes down to Railjack, we now have the ability to build the dry dock, collect the parts and build and grind for the Railjack. And I haven't quite got to the finish point of building my Railjack yet, because it's only kind of Tuesday. I do have a life as well as playing Warframe. So I'm about one stage away from actually completing the build. And so I'm feeling quite excited to see what they'll let us do in this period before the Empyrean update comes out. I've been reading kind of comments from people, and it's hinting at the fact that you can actually kind of have a walk around, and even the hotfix that came out today was talking about, oh, people have launched their Railjack into a nothingness void and stuff. I'm thinking, okay, well maybe once I've built it I can get into it and have a walk around, familiarise myself with it. But I certainly will put in the background a nice shot of my red and gold edgelord Railjack. And you know what, I really like this mini update of being able to do the grind beforehand. I'm a big fan of that, and it's not too onerous. It really isn't. It's one of those things that you've got a lot to put together and a lot of money and a lot of resources to spend, and not real money by the way, it's just credits, on actually building the Railjack. I mean, you need 6 million credits in total to do all the parts, 6 stages. So there's a lot to do, but I've quite enjoyed it. It's kind of reinvigorated my wants to play the Railjack element, and kind of got my my excitement up for being able to get into a big old spaceship and fly around and do some missions. I don't know what the use of Railjack is going to be like. I mean, there's things that do worry me, just from a user interface kind of perspective. So the actual build and timings of everything in the dry dock, which once you've built, that's where you start building your Railjack. The two parts there where it's focused on the dry dock, that you have the actual timer and everything not in one of the labs when you're researching it, it's actually in the dry dock, and the kind of research panels and whatnot. And also that you'll probably be sending or running your missions from the dry dock and not the normal navigation screen, I would imagine. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe you can still do it from the navigation screen. It's not, I don't know yet, but it just feels like if it's separated away, then maybe it'll gradually fade into nothingness. I really hope not, because the idea of flying a big spaceship around in Warframe, it really, really, really appeals to me. And I'm just happy at the moment that we've got the ability to get things ready. I really think that's a great touch. There are some new resources that you have to kind of farm to get through certain stages of the research. There are basically 2 elements. There's the enemy killing resource that you get from Eximus enemies on Corpus tile sets on Ceres, and from the Grenier Eximus enemies on the Grenier tile sets on no, is it the other way around? It's on Ceres and then on Europa. So Europa is the Corpus. So those particular resources will just drop And if you've got resource booters or cravats and things, it's a bit easier to get. And then you've also got the mining stuff that is kind of new, where you get these, what are they called? I've forgotten them already. Pustrels in the Plains of Eidolon, and Copernics in Orb Valis, which just pop out from ore mining. So it's not onerous. I mean, you only need like 100 of them in one part, and then 80 in another. So you could spend half an hour and probably get all the stuff you need for one of those resources. So it's not too bad. It's not an endless grind, but it's a grind nonetheless, and it'd be using up resources as well that you've already got. And if you're a veteran player, you've probably got hundreds of millions of them anyway. But for people that aren't so experienced in Warframe, you may need to do a little bit of opening up the map and grinding away at some resources, just because it might be stuff you don't have. But on the whole, I think it's a really nice update. It's not a lot of content, let's face it. It's just a couple of extra missions. Now, the missions you do to go and salvage the things involve you fighting some nice varied enemies on one tile set, which I don't think is something we've really seen too much of. But certainly well, I suppose we do see them on the open plains at night time and in certain kind of void missions or derelict missions and stuff like that. So with the sentience hovering about, and you've also got Vonvalis as well flying about, interrupting your work, and it's basically a hold position kind of mission. So you'll find your salvage and you'll protect it from enemies. Then once it's done its kind of tagging and bagging, then you exit the mission and it gets salvaged and put into dry dock. Very, very simple. It's just, I think it's just a time filler to keep us away from shouting, where is my Railjack, which I've yet to start doing properly. I might write to my MP and complain that I haven't got Railjack yet, but I don't think they'll listen because he's a bit of a tosser anyway. But yeah, I'm definitely in a position now where I'm ready, about a day or two away from being able to launch myself into the whole Railjack experience. When it will actually drop, who knows? If it drops over Christmas time, I know what I'll be doing for most of my Christmas break. Absolutely. But I'm wholeheartedly, I'm a big fan of getting some new stuff in Warframe, and it looks like if they're doing this now, it must be close. So there's that to look forward to in the next few weeks, hopefully. That's just speculation. That's not based on any fact. I just hope it's going to be the next few weeks. Well, at least before the end of the year. So let's just hope it happens. I'm so excited. Is it showing? I think it's showing. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'd love to know what you think about the whole recent Railjack update. I would love to know if you think it's too much too soon. Would you want to wait and have it all at one point? Or are you happy with the idea of being able to grind it now and get into your Railjack and do the missions later, straight away when it comes out? Do you think the grind's too much, too little, too easy, too hard? Love to know what you think about the update for you guys that have been building your own Railjacks. I hope to get some commentary on my colour scheme, because why not? And I'd love to know what you generally think about the game at the moment, because it's going through a phase, and I would love to hear what people think about it. So there's that. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video if you want to. If you don't like what I've said here today, which last time there's a lot of people didn't like what I said last time, but if you want to kind of get involved, give us a like or a dislike. I don't mind. And then basically let me know down in the comments what you think about Warframe, me, and my colour scheme. That's about it, really. We have videos out every Wednesday and Saturday, so check back then for some awesome content, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.